Hello there, my garden friends. I'm doing another weekly update on my small backyard orchard. It's been raining here a lot here in the East Coast, but at least today we have a nice hot weather. So I'm just doing a update on the fruit development of my fruit trees here in the backyard. We'll go one by one. Okay, so how's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well. All right, here we go. It's a beautiful hot day today. I think it's gonna hit like close to 90 degrees. That is good. Right now, checking out several fruit trees, and this one is Santa Rosa plum. It performed, I say, well. You know, it has nice size fruits there. And considering this only like a 4-year-old tree, I don't know if you can see it, but it's quite a few there. Let's see now. There you go. I think this is the first one to ripen. Maybe first week of July. Should be good already. And right next to it is the Macintosh apple. Not much fruits there, but well, we'll see next year. But I think I have to hand pollinate this myself. I grafted this with the Golden Delicious apple, which is surprisingly has more fruits than the mother tree, the Macintosh apple. See, those are Golden Delicious. And that one too on the top there. So it's interesting. We'll see how it will develop. And we'll be here by the mirror now. The one that's by the mirror. This one is Clematis Ville de Leon. It climbed there already, all the way to the top of the mirror. I think it's supposed to flower around July, so we'll see. But the one next to it on the other side, this one was a Vignosa violacea. It it's been raining here a lot, and I think it caught a clematis wilt, some kind of fungal disease. So I have to nip it from the bud. Actually, it climbed halfway there, but just one day it it died. So I think it's still alive. It'll come back. We'll see. Because they're supposed to flower around the mirror there. That's one of the focal point. This is Clematis jackmanii. It's the star right now in my garden. It's first week of June, but it's supposed to flower all the way to September, I think. It's growing nicely, nice vivid color. It's supposed to climb that area there where the shed is, and some part of the Fuji apple, you know. So it's gonna be interesting, but easy to grow. I love this, To begin with, I'm not too much crazy about flowers. I'm not particularly, you know, into flowery garden. But clematis had me change my mind. I fell in love with it. Now I have several. I ordered some more. I think that's the main flowers in my orchard. So this one is Jackmanii clematis, and here I ordered just a couple of weeks ago. I planted this. I think it's a pilio. Supposed to grow, and I will train it to grow next to the Baldwin pear. This one here. I don't know if you can see the Baldwin pear. They it needs to be hand pollinated too. Yes, several fruits there, but maybe next year it will be quadruple in size. I mean in production. I don't know if you can see it. Uh, so here's my recent purchase, my Pilio clematis. And also what's flowering right now next to the grapevine is the Princess Diana. Yes, that nice dainty pink flowers. It's interesting. It seems to I put like a fishing line support there. Hardly you can see it, but seems to cling to it nicely, as if it's like suspended in the air. Look at that, like a nice picture in there. Hmm. And one of my clematis here, I think that's what they say. The first year they will sleep, and in this case, it's true. This is a. I'm trying to remember the names now. H.F. Young clematis. So we'll see. They have been up sander because I've been pruning these grapevines here to allow more sun penetration there. And the grapevine, I already pruned this like several times already, heavy on the top especially. I don't know if you can read it. It says Garden of Delights. Peace. That's what we need. And greetings of peace. They say that's how you will be greeted in paradise. And I like those good vibes, good feel messages in my garden. Well, anyway, those grapes are doing really nicely. Look at that. Look at that, huh? Here are some of my decor. Make it more homey. And I didn't spend much money here. Some of it are mostly are recycled material, and some are like a dollar or two in a yard sale. This one here is a dollar. I just put it in there like a wine holder. And this, what do you call it, a chandelier? I think I bought this for $3 in a yard sale. And those matte blue trellis there, metal trellis, I just picked up. Those are salvage material around my neighborhood here. I just spray painted it blue. It looks nice. I use it like a support for my vines. Now this one I spray painted it green. This one another recycled material. Spray painted it with pink. It's nice. You don't have to spend money at all. You can beautify your garden depending on your, I guess, on your taste. Let's check out again that. Look at that. Oh, the sun kind of shaded right now, but beautiful. Look at that, huh? How can you not fall in love with that flower, huh? See, it's climbing the apple tree now. And the beauty with the clematis, you can redirect the growth where, you can nip it where it doesn't belong, and you can redirect the growth where you wanted to intend to grow it. So we'll see. And underneath the Macintosh apple, again, a newly planted additional clematis. It's a Madame Julia Corabon. Uh, yeah, that's the name. It's a red flower one. So I'm training this to climb here on the Macintosh apple. So that's the again Madame Julia Corabon, a red one. And next to underneath the Santa Rosa plum, it's a another additional. Just they're all the same time I planted it. Comtesse de Bacud. I don't know how you pronounce that. It's French. Comtesse de Bachod, something like that. So it's supposed to climb this area here now. This one is like a pink color, light pink. And behind it is a 1 year old, you know, actually it's his second year now. I planted it last year. This is a Dr. Rupel, very nice flower. I'm happy with that one. It already performed well for me the first time. And underneath the Red Haven fruit tree, see my lavender's flowering too. It's another additional clematis. I told you I fell in love with clematis like crazy. This one is a pink champagne. Yeah, pink champagne, a more darker pink. So it's gonna grow this side now. And over here, I pulled it out, but I planted in a pot. But I will place there a Henry, a white flower one, clematis. So I just place it in the pot because that area here is still kind of it's a north facing one, so it's a shaded area. It gets only like 4 hours of sun. So I'm letting it grow bigger, so it has a better chance of growing. So maybe around September I will plant it there. And another one underneath the first red Haven peach tree is a this one is Ramona clematis right there. It's supposed to grow this area here. So if you're looking at from here, it's gonna be all flowery and fruity, and the flower and the fruits all blend in together. And here is the second Red Haven peach tree. They're growing right next to each other. There's the other one and this one. This one is a 4-year-old tree. And they're doing the June drop now. They're dropping fruits, I guess the elimination process. And there's still plenty in there though. So nothing to worry about. I didn't spray anything. I have this kaolin clay, but I didn't spray, because it seemed like they're doing good anyway. And the kaolin clay, for some reason, I don't like the way it looks. It looks like it has some makeup on it. And maybe I will try it. I'm not giving up on that, but I will see. Uh, let's turn around and, I don't know if you can really see the fruit sets there, but there you go. And now we're here on the front. Another additional clematis is a Princess Charles, like a light blue color clematis. And I'm gonna be training it let me see, to grow by I cannot pronounce this word, arborbite. I trained this, you see, I prune it in the center, so light penetrates there. You can see it's wide open on the top, but as you pull back, it's full on the side. It's like a round thing, similar to my living bird cage right in front of the house. So again, that's a Princess Charles, and this one here, I think it's ready to for its second flush of bloom It performed well, like in springtime, early spring. HF Young, nice color. Look at my blueberries here. I might need to put some netting here because I have a competition with the birds. But I got several there already. But we'll see. I might have to put some netting. Actually, there's some little, not too ripe, but I'll take it. Plenty of vitamin C, I think. It's a little sour before the birds pick it, you know. See, look at the bird. See that? Hmm, not too bad. And over here, another new additional clematis by the living outdoor bird cage. What do you call it? Aviary. Underneath it is a. I'm growing a. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a bees jubilee. So I'm gonna train that to grow on the side of the bird cage. Let's check out my pet birds, the cockatiel, and now I have additional budgies in there, yellow budgies. There's one, just to keep the cockatiel company. This one, very relaxing. My mini water cascade here, waterfall. See, I put like a fresh mint leaves there as a experimental to keep up the mosquitoes. I don't know. We'll see if it works. But I know the mint it's like a mosquito repellent. Maybe I'll put some lavender in there too. But the sound is relaxing, especially when I'm laying around in my hammock here. See, this is a very portable hammock. It's rain or shine, it's there. Let's see. Yeah, it's relaxing right now. Actually, about 10 years ago, this where I get my idea to make this Arbovitea tree into a bird cage. I was laying here one afternoon. I saw birds keep taking shade in the underneath the tree here. And I was thinking, why don't I make it into a living bird cage? And crazy enough, I did. And it's been 10 years there now. It's made up of galvanized wire. And I think it's worth it. It was pain in the butt to do it. It took me like 2 weeks, especially the top. The putting the screen there. But it's keeping me company here when I'm reading a book or listening to music or sipping some beverage here in my under the shade in my little hammock next to the my little water cascader too. You can see it. I like the sound of it. And under the shade of the cascading white pine. And there's another additional. I put this. It's getting kind of crowded actually, but what the heck? It's my garden. I can do what I want to, right? This is a golden delicious apple. I got some fruits in there. The idea is when I'm this one is like a 3 year old, but it's doing great. The idea is when I'm in the hammock and there's like plenty of fruits there. While I'm doing, I can probably reach while I'm in the hammock. I probably can reach the fruits. Like I don't know what kind of laziness is that, but you know, we'll see. And well, the garden's doing beautifully right now. So I'll keep you more updated. See the top of this living bird cage? I pruned that too, like open in the center. See, one thing about me, I'm not scared of pruning. I prune it aesthetically. I study the plant growth, and and they regrow back. I mean, you can shape it the way you envision it. If you're artistic, because you cannot. For me, I cannot grow it all on its own, natural form. I have so many plants here; it will become a jungle. So every year I have to keep it maintained. Severe pruning, and but it keeps coming back. And the more you prune it, the more the trunk, the girth of the shrub and the tree get more thicker, and it becomes more artistic. Just look at the light formation on this, the light and the shade pattern, and by the living bird cage. See, you allow the light to penetrate there, and you see the what do you call that? Mm, I just like it. Those branches there, like gracefully, graceful pattern with the play of light and shade. Okay.